Hi, Jumbo. Okay, thanks for clapping. So Jumbo means Swahili, means hello in Kenya, where I used to call home before I moved to Luxembourg. And before I move into what BitPesa does and why we come up with a solution, I want to share with you a very exciting news that we announced 2 weeks ago in New York City on Yahoo Finance platform that we finished our first acquisition with a Spanish payment, the first digital payment company in Spain. And that gives us tremendous infrastructure and licensing compliance in Europe and across Africa. So what is BitPesa and what does BitPesa do? So we have to come back and think about what is the problem now we're facing about moving money in frontier markets, right? So moving money right now in Luxembourg or in Europe or in China, it's not a big issue. But in frontier market, especially when you have interactions between the frontier markets within itself and also the frontier market with developed market, there's a huge problems there in terms of the cost of moving money, in terms of the processes, and in terms of the time. And when I say moving money here, it's not just about remittances, right? So a lot of people talk about remittances, moving money is really high cost, but also B2B payments. So look at this, this picture. I'm sure that you're all familiar with the first very innovative payment solution in Kenya, which is M-Pesa, which basically allow you to use SMS to send money local, peer-to-peer. But what about if we take that into an international level, how can I send money from my M-Pesa in Kenya to DigiCash in Luxembourg, for example? Or how can I make payments to a supplier in China to Alipay or WeChat Pay? And not to mention, there are so many different currencies in frontier markets. In Africa, there are 56 countries, and almost every country has different currencies. And different currencies depreciating is not synchronizing with the global economy, and not to mention the system. So, and one more problem that is more cumbersome, it's really problematic, is a lot of countries are dependent on dollar as a middle currency. So just imagine how ridiculous it would be if you want to send money from Luxembourg to Spain or to France, but you need to use Chinese yen or Japanese yen as a middle currency. Do you guys like it, the idea of doing that? Or no? Okay. So that is what's happening now in Africa, for example. Like a lot of people need to buy dollar locally and to send money to, for example, a neighboring country from Kenya to Uganda or to Mozambique, etc. So SWIFT just published a statistic, basically 70% of the currency pairs and transactions between Africa, frontier markets to the other markets are connecting through dollar. And that makes costs higher through correspondent banking system, etc. So we essentially create this liquidity pool and liquidity hub and payment solutions to connect those exotic currency through bank accounts and mobile wallets with the advanced payment system around the world. And this is how it works. So we are sitting in between as a market maker of different currencies. On one side, I'm connecting through the traditional local banking system, and on the other side, I'm using blockchain. Right now, we're using Bitcoin and Ether as a middle gateway to connect to global currency pair. And that makes me, as a payment service provider, really easy from day one. I can provide more than 10 currency pair around the world and help my business on the continent to make global payments with a local payment solution. And you probably wonder who are clients and what do we do exactly. So our clients primarily is in the business space, so it can range from multinational use our solution to repatriate local revenue to SME just want to make payments to their suppliers in other countries. And also right now we receive a lot of interest from financial institutions and want us to basically offer FinTech solution and go use our front end and back end to go to market faster and easier and cheaper. And this is a trajectory. So in the last 4 years, we've raised $10 million in equity funding, and we've scaled across 8 markets, and our transaction volume has grown 25% month over month. And last but not least, with the acquisition and with our presence here in Luxembourg, we essentially become the most compliant money transfer companies and B2B payment companies between Europe and Africa. And that's where we're proud of, and we really want you to join our journey as well to revolutionize the money moving industry between frontier markets and developed markets. So, thank you.